truth is, Curtis is a swish. Been a swish for many years. Everyone knows it.
So last night she implied that 50 Cent is gay. The boys in the audience were like, ow, that's one for our side.
Oh my gosh, you are not going to believe this. 50 Cent just got hit with the most humiliating leak of his entire career. I'm literally shaking right now. Jaguar Wright just set the internet on fire, dropping a freak-off tape that allegedly puts 50 in a situation nobody saw coming. And trust me, there ain't no women involved in this scandal. That footage is spreading like wildfire, and the streets are already buzzing. Some people are even saying, can you believe this? This might be worse than anything folks have accused Diddy of. 50 is absolutely spiraling, going off on a wild, unhinged rant against Jaguar. But guess what? The damage is already done.
If you Google the cover, 50's wearing like all white, like tight, and then he's got a mask over his head, and he's got his hand around Soulja Boy. It looked kind of booty bandish-ish. That's all I'm gonna say.
Let's be real for a second. Everybody knows 50 Cent built his whole career on airing people out. For years, he's been clowning Diddy, dropping hints about those freak-offs in wild industry parties, always acting like he's too good for all that drama. But what happens when the one doing the exposing gets exposed? Jaguar has been out here pulling back the curtain on the music industry's dirty little secrets for a while now, and she is not holding back.
And I was used to fame, you know. And the main thing that what the relationship was that we just went way too public, way too fast. The love that I had for him, and still to this day, will always, like, he was the love of my life. I will admit that without any reservations. He will always have a very special place in my heart. But the reason why the relationship ended was because we just went public way too fast, had way too many people in our business. And
so when she set her sights on 50, folks sat up real quick to listen, and she ain't just throwing out hints or making slick comments. Nah, she came straight for the jugular. Jaguar claims 50 has been knee-deep in the same mess he's been accusing everyone else of. And if y'all think she's just running her mouth, let's take a little trip back to 2010. The internet has been digging up receipts like it's a full-time job, and the first thing folks pulled up, that infamous XXL magazine cover that has everyone's jaws on the floor.
I'm not saying allegedly, Curtis. I know what you've been doing. You don't get no about what happens to those people in that town, but I do.
I just you have been like the world's most amazing boyfriend. Chelsea Handler had great things to say about you. Vivica A, she said that you are still the love of her life. Do you have a response to that?
Well, no, I don't. I'm not never bothered by when she says that. You know what I'm saying? Because you say, if you just the timing at the time that we actually interacted with each other, there was we weren't conscious of everything else that's going on. So she'll always say, if you listen to her, she'll say, I would have been private.
Yeah, she wouldn't have had as many people in y'all's business.
Right, because when it got so uncomfortable with everybody else. Like when you get pushed and pulled in different directions without it being even her decision.
Right.
Her publicist is saying, do this. This person is, you do this. And it's
back then, people side-eyed it but didn't think too much about it. But now, in this era where everybody got their third eye wide open, that cover is hitting real different. Picture it. 50 Cent standing behind a shirtless Soulja Boy, gripping his chain, pants hanging low, looking like he knows something. Now tell me that ain't worth talking about. The stance, the positioning, the whole vibe. Oh, it was giving something else entirely. At the time, folks laughed it off, saying it looked a little off. But now, with Jaguar's bombshell blowing up the internet, people are finally connecting the dots.
What were your thoughts when 50 Cent blamed the second season ratings dip on gay stuff?
first of all, you know, the pot calling the kettle black is all I'm saying.
Ooh, the pot calling the kettle black. Huh.
Whoa, that was some tea. That was shade. That was major shade.
Pot calling the kettle black. So I mean, you're not insinuating that
he's gay?
50 Cent is.
And guess what? Vivica A. Fox been trying to tell us. Back in the day, nobody wanted to listen. Flashback to 2003, 50 Cent and Vivica were that couple. He was running rap. She was one of the biggest actresses in Hollywood. And together, they had the industry in a chokehold. But that fairy tale, it didn't last. Years later, Vivica sat down with Vlad TV, reminiscing about their time together and admitting that the media circus straight up ruined their vibe.
He was in love with you, girl. Would you ever think about getting back together with Mr. Curtis Jackson if he came?
Well, Ben and Jen did it again. Why?
Kind of monster. In another kind of way, he don't want things to change. He just want to be the one that's running it. See? Easiest thing to do is to take your enemy's feet and hold them to the fire for things you know.
But apparently it wasn't just them making decisions. It was managers, publicists, and everybody in their business. And just like that, their relationship crumbled. But oh, Vivica wasn't done stirring the pot. While chopping it up on Watch What Happens Live, she dropped a bomb that nobody was ready for.
There's a kid 50 Cent in with Soulja Boy. He's sharpening them up right now. Feels good, you know what I mean? My man is hottest thing on the street right now. You see me learn to dance on Rap City. If you ain't seen, you better go. You know that? You're. And one. We're getting it going. But I like Soulja Boy. I like Soulja Boy a lot.
Sick and tired of him. I'd have more respect for him if he came out the closet.
It seems like...
Because he's a lot more Bogart than...
She casually slid in some extra spicy tea about 50. She hinted that something about him back then just wasn't sitting right. And when Andy Cohen brought up 50 saying Empire's ratings flopped because of too much gay stuff, Vivica didn't even blink. She was ready. Now let's keep it real. Vivica never came right out and said 50 was on the DL, but baby, everybody knew exactly what she was getting at. And best believe 50 and Soulja Boy weren't about to let that slide. Soulja fired the first shot, posting a highly unflattering pic of Vivica with a caption that had folks talking, "Everybody hit up Miss Vivica, she's single and ready to mingle." But 50? Oh, he took petty mode to the max. He didn't just let that moment slide. Nah, he made it a whole mission. For years, he stayed dragging Vivica. Meanwhile, Soulja Boy kept it cute, acting like it was nothing and making it clear his bond with 50 was solid. He even said, without 50, there would be no Soulja Boy. But while they were hyping each other up, folks started looking at them real funny, and that's when the whispers started, because maybe, just maybe, Vivica had been onto something all along. Vivica did end up apologizing to Soulja Boy, but when it came to 50, crickets! She didn't say a word. Instead, she doubled down, claiming everything 50 ever said about their relationship was straight up lies. But here's the thing, if the rumors weren't true, why were they so pressed? If it was all just nonsense, wouldn't they have just laughed it off? Instead, they went into full-blown attack mode. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? And apparently Soulja was in the mix for a minute too. And we ain't just talking about his music career. The latest receipts, oh, they got Soulja Boy's name stamped all over them. An alleged former partner of Soulja Boy just came forward in an interview, and baby, he spilled everything. And when I say details, I mean full-blown text messages, receipts, and even gifts that Soulja allegedly dropped just to keep this man quiet. We're talking designer bags, a puppy named Treasure, and a whole lot of industry chess moves to make sure this situation never saw the light of day. But the tea doesn't stop there. Things got even weirder when an old Instagram live between Soulja Boy and Nicki Minaj resurfaced. And if you haven't seen it yet, oh baby, you're in for a treat. At one point, Nicki straight up asked him if he knew any DL rappers, and let's just say his reaction said everything that his words didn't. Nicki, you think there's a lot of undercover brothers? Soulja, oh, I said I do. The way this man snapped to attention, started fumbling through his words, looking like he was in full panic mode. He dodged the question, laughed all awkward-like, and kept trying to switch the subject. At this point, the math is mathing. Meanwhile, Vivica was still out here talking, spilling more tea in every interview she could, including one with Wendy Williams. And even as recently as 2023, while chatting with Sherry Shepherd, Vivica straight up admitted she still had deep feelings for 50. But 50, oh, he was on a whole different vibe. He went way back, posting a throwback clip from his 2003 BET Award speech, the exact moment he first flirted with Vivica in front of the whole world. But that caption? Cold-blooded. I look back at some of the S I did and got to learn to shut up. Look at that. Look at the end. That's trouble. WTF star. He basically called that whole relationship a mistake. And this is when the streets really started talking. 50's name has been floating around in whispers for years. There was that blind item that had the industry buzzing. A rapper who loved to call out others for being DL, but behind closed doors, he was throwing the same kind of freak-off parties himself. And then there was that time Rufus Wainwright, the openly gay singer, didn't just shoot his shot at 50, he boldly declared, "I know he's gay. Feel free to call me anytime." Phew. Oh, and let's not forget when the game dropped some real cryptic comments about 50's preferences back in the day. He knew something. Then enters Daphne Joy, 50's ex and the mother of his son. After 50 started going in on Diddy, dragging his rumored freak-off lifestyle, Daphne had enough. She clapped back hard, basically hinting that 50 needed to clean up his own past before coming for anybody else. Sis was not holding back. She all but confirmed that whatever 50 was accusing Diddy of, he might have a little first-hand experience with too. But baby, it didn't stop there. After Vivica spilled her tea, Jaguar Wright jumped in and added her 2 cents. And if Jaguar is talking about you, you might as well pack it up, because if there's one thing about Jaguar, she's going to tell it all, and this is where things started looking real suspicious. See, 50 Cent has spent years calling people DL years. Name a rapper, chances are, 50 has thrown shade at them at some point. Take Diddy, for example. 50 has constantly posted shady pictures of him at parties, throwing hints that something was off. Or Rick Ross, his forever enemy. Y'all remember when 50 posted those edited pics of Diddy and Ross looking a little too cozy? Well, according to some folks, that wasn't just a joke. Or that one pic of Diddy and Steve Stout both rocking pink outfits, where 50 basically implied something was up. And then Jaguar dropped the real bomb. She said, "The reason 50 keeps calling out other folks is because he knows the game a little too well. I ain't mad at him, I just don't trust him." For years, folks brushed off 50's obsession with other men's bodies as just him trolling. But now, people are starting to think it might be something deeper, maybe even projection. Because why is 50 always talking about other men like this if he's supposed to be all the way straight? And then Jaguar Wright came through and blew the lid off. She didn't just throw shade. She dragged 50 into the fire, claiming he's been out here exposing others for years while hiding his own skeletons. And according to her, 50 was the one who introduced Soulja Boy to that side of the industry. But hold up. She didn't just say it. Sis claims she saw it, as in, she allegedly watched a whole tape of Soulja Boy and 50 getting to it. 50 Cent, Soulja Boy, and a few other big industry names all caught up in some secret freak-off party. And the craziest part? Jaguar hinted that Soulja Boy had been passed around, straight up saying that 50 was the one who brought him into that scene. Now, if this is true, that means 50 has been knee-deep in the same shady industry circles he's been calling out for years. It's giving hypocrisy on a grand scale. But oh, Jaguar wasn't done. Soulja Boy wasn't the only one caught up in that mess. Jaguar took it even further, suggesting that 50 had some real questionable moments while he was locked up. And she didn't stop there. She even claimed he had to pay people off to keep quiet about it. And just when you thought the DXL cover talk was over, nope. Jaguar doubled down, circling right back to what everybody had already been side-eyeing. She called out the whole vibe of that shoot, pointing out how 50 was standing over Soulja like he was presenting him to the world. And let's not forget that BDSM-style mask 50 was rocking. According to Jaguar, that XXL cover wasn't just a photo shoot, it was a message. And the gag is, we all missed it. Jaguar didn't hold back. She said 50 might as well just step out the closet because at this point, she claims the streets already know the truth. And let's not forget the Diddy situation. Y'all remember when 50 was out here claiming Diddy tried to take him on an all-expenses-paid shopping spree? Yeah, that was a whole moment. And if 50 is really as straight as he claims, why was Diddy so comfortable making that kind of offer? Then, right when Jaguar's accusations started gaining traction, 50 suddenly went real quiet about Diddy. Suspicious, right? Folks started wondering, maybe, just maybe, 50 got spooked. Because if that tape really exists, he knows it's only a matter of time before it comes out. Jaguar made one thing very clear. 50 can clown, deflect, and distract all he wants, but she ain't backing down. She even dared him to sue her if she was lying. And guess what? Nothing happened. No lawsuits, no cease and desist, not even one of 50's infamous shady Instagram clapbacks from his burner accounts, just silence. Now, some fans are fully convinced. They're saying 50's lack of response speaks volumes. Others, they think Jaguar is just clout chasing. But if that's the case, then why hasn't 50 sued yet? Why didn't he shut it down immediately? That's what people are asking. One comment even said, if 50 doesn't come after her or sue her, she ain't lying. 'Cause we all know how petty 50 is. So what do y'all think? Did Jaguar just drop the biggest bomb on 50 Cent's image, or is this just another wild industry rumor? Either way, this drama is far from over, so make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know your thoughts below, and don't worry, we'll be back with more updates real soon. See you on the next one.